welcome back to my channel. Today I have been setting up my reading journal for the month, and so we are talking about the books that I'm hoping and wanting to read in June. Two novels by two of my favorite authors. One of them that just came out and I've been dying to read. One novel by an author that I've been itching to try out because from everything I've read about his books, I feel like I am going to love him. One book that my book club was supposed to read in March, but it got moved to this month for some reason. A reread of a book by Shonda Rhimes that I loved when it first came out and sort of feel like it's time for me to read again. And a book that I've had in my Kindle for a while that is apparently going to help me organize my digital life and unlock my creative potential. I mean, what could go wrong with that? So if you're curious about any of these, stick around. I'll tell you what they are and what they're all about. Okay, so let's start with the book club book. This month we are reading No Two Persons by Bauermeister. And here's what the blurb says. One book, 9 readers, 10 changed lives. I mean, I already love this. It seems like this is a book about books and about how books sort of have the power to connect us and change us and give us new perspectives and ways of being in the world, right? And so I'm excited to read this one. The main character is a woman named Alice, and she writes a book that is apparently a marvel, right? And everyone is reading it and everyone is loving it, including a homeless teenager, a free diver, an artist who is like furious at the world, I guess, a bookseller who is looking for love, a widower who is grieving his wife, and like, I guess, a few other people to add up to the 9 different readers. 10 people, 9 readers. I have been dying to read this since I voted for our book club to read it this year. And so finally, this is the month. Next is a book called Blank by Zibby Owens. So another one with our main character is an author, and she's wrote a bestseller, and now she's working on her follow-up book. And she's almost done with the follow-up book when another author, like miraculously, had exactly the same idea, but then published her book first. And so Pippa has to scrap the book she's working on and come up with a brand new book, but she's coming up blank. For months, she is coming up blank. And then her agent calls and is like, you need to have a book finished in 5 days, or else you have to repay the advance that we gave you to write the book, which is kind of a bummer because Pippa has already spent the advance, right? She can't pay it back. So she's desperate, right? And her 12-year-old son comes up with like an idea as a joke. And Pippa's like, oh yeah, I'm totally doing that. And so she does it. And it's a pretty bold move, apparently, that sets a whole bunch of stuff into motion that I guess Pippa never sees coming. I don't know what it is. Sounds like a fun book. Sounds like something, I don't know, interesting to read. So next is another book by one of my favorite authors in the whole wide world, Laurie Frankel. And if you haven't read This Is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel, you are missing out. And I almost feel like I want to go read that one again now. But first, I am reading 1, 2, 3. So I was all in on this book because it's Laurie Frankel. But then when I read the blurb and it starts with, in a town where nothing ever changes, suddenly everything does. I mean, so we have triplet sisters named Mirabelle, Monday, and Mab. They live in a town where 17 years ago, before they were born, the water turned green and bad things happened to people. And their mother has been fighting for justice for the town ever since. So Life is going along as normal in a town full of abnormal things when a moving truck pulls in and some new residents pop out, and the sisters, the triplets, end up taking on a system stacked against them and uncovering mysteries buried longer than they've been alive. Because it's hard to let go of the past when the past won't let go of you. Well, that is absolutely the truth. But listen to this part of the blurb. Laurie Frankel has written a laugh out loud on one page, grab a tissue the next novel, as only she can, very true, about how expanding our notions of normal makes the world a better place for everyone, and how when days are darkest, it's our daughters who will save us all. I like this. I like laughing and crying and novels that expand my notion of normal. And I kind of feel like this is going to be another, this is how it always is. And I am here for it. Next is a book by another one of my favorite authors, the one and only Maddie Dawson. This woman also has me like laughing and crying and wanting to be best friends and moving next door to all of her characters, because these people are my people. I mean, they're fictional, but they're totally my people. So this is her newest one. It just came out June 1st, and it's called Let's Pretend This Will Work, which I'm not kidding, I probably say to myself 6 times a day. So our main character, Mimi Perkins, is single and looking for love. Lucky for her, she meets a handsome divorced drama teacher who is also a single father, and they fall head over heels, and he proposes, and they are getting married. Yay for Mimi. But before they can walk down the aisle, Ren finds out that his ex-wife has been in a terrible car accident, and he has to temporarily move from New York back to his home in Connecticut so that he can take care of her and their daughters. So Mimi moves too, and everything's going well, but then it kind of seems like Ren and his ex-wife might kind of sort of be getting back together. So she has to like make decisions about what she's going to do about that, if anything. The search for happiness turns a woman's life upside down in a warm, quirky, and big-hearted novel about the joys and chaos of finding love. After the past couple of months of reading books, I am so ready for warm, quirky, and big-hearted. This next book is from the author of The Midnight Library, which I haven't read yet, and I'm not exactly sure why I'm reading The Humans first, but I am. So, The Humans by Matt Haig. This book, I don't know why I'm reading this book. This book is about an alien who comes to Earth, and apparently he takes the form of a math professor while he like is about this business of like he's got some gruesome assignment to complete before he can get back home. So the alien, I guess, is not impressed with us Earthlings, but slowly he realizes that there might be more to us than he initially thought, and he maybe starts to kind of like us a little bit, which leads him to question whether he should actually carry out the mission, the gruesome mission that he was assigned to do. Author Matt Haig delivers an unlikely story about human nature and the joy found in the messiness of life on Earth. The Humans is a funny, compulsively readable tale that playfully and movingly explores the ultimate subject, ourselves. Okay. So that's 5 fiction, 5 novels that I want to read this month. Now I've also got 2 nonfiction, and so let's start with this one. Let's talk about Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. I'm curious about this one because I have known for some time now that there is way too much information in my world and I cannot keep it all in my brain. I can't. There's too much going on in there. And this is why I have a reading journal, right? Because I can't remember the books I read without it. This is why my calendar has literally everything on it, from meetings I have to do to things like paying the bills. Like I even put doing laundry on there, everything, because I have other things to be thinking about. And I don't want to clog up my brain working in the background to remind me to pay the water bill, right? So, uh, I don't know this, but I think that this book is sort of about that. How to create like a second brain that is not in your actual brain, but that is a trusted and organized digital repository of your most valued ideas, notes, and creative work synced across all of your devices and platforms. I'm intrigued. What is this repository? What is the system for knowledge management that I can apparently easily create? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to read this book. We'll find out. And the final book on my reading list for June is by Shonda Rhimes, A Year of Yes, or The Year of Yes, or maybe it's just Year of Yes. I don't know. I read this years and years ago. I think it came out in 2015, and I'm pretty sure I read it right away because I feel like whatever Shonda Rhimes is doing, I want to know about it. And if she is saying yes all year, I want to know about it. So you know Shonda Rhimes, right? Like she created Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, and like her production company just put out a little show called Bridgerton. So you know Shonda Rhimes. But what you maybe didn't know about her is that she's apparently a total introvert. And for years and years and years and years, she refused to do public appearances because she would get like panic attacks before interviews. And so she was like, no, thank you. I'm just going to be over here churning out the hit TV shows. I'm not talking to the public. No. And so one day her sister was like, Shonda, you never say yes to anything. And Shonda was like, huh. So she decided to do this challenge where for 1 year, she would say yes to everything that scared her. And so this book, I guess, not I guess, I've read it. This book is about like that year. What happened in the year that she said yes? So I feel like it's time for me to read this one again so that I can maybe have my own year of yes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Shonda has to say to me this month. Also, I just started watching the new season of Bridgerton, so Shonda is definitely speaking to me this month. And that's it. 7 books on my reading list for June. Might add a few more before the end of the month. We'll see how it goes. Like if you're looking for book recommendations, check out these videos from my previous month's reading list. And if you can, come hang out with me on Wednesdays. I host reading sprints at noon Eastern, 5 o'clock in London. I don't know what time zone you're in, but come hang out Wednesdays. And if I don't see you on Wednesday, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.